Hello out there, everyone. I am DJ Particle. This is Particle Play Live. Although today it's less particle play and more particle discussion. Because we haven't done this in a couple months now. We're doing another edition of Am I the Antagonist? Where it's basically a Reddit where there's questions of ethical quandary, and basically what we did last time on this was I would read I would choose a thing something, um read it off, and then we discuss whether the OP is the antagonist or not. And sometimes we assign a certain number of points to them as well. So yeah. Oh, oh. Dana also wants to know what do y'all think of me playing Portal one of these days, or Portal 2. If I'm gonna do that, I'm of course gonna do Portal 1 first. But I mean, because I am considering it. Yeah. Um. I I mean, personally, I've been considering the possibility of doing Portal, believe it or not, as part of Spooky Saturday in October, because it is kind of a psychological horror when you think about it. All right. What? What do you mean it was a thought? I said I'm considering doing it. Jeez. Oh, that reminds me. Oh God, that's right. Before this October, I have to get the Switch version of Ghostbusters and play up to where I left off in the Wii version, so that we can at least continue that story. That's right. I forgot about that. I gotta get a copy of that. I keep forgetting. Ah. Sadly, I won't be able to whip around a Wiimote like I did on the Wii version, but but whatever. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, last time we did Am I the Antagonist, we actually had a few people in the we actually have a few people in the chat room discussing things with us. Hey, Rose, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? All right. Let's see here. Well, let's start off with the newest one listed here. Am I the antagonist for ordering food for strangers at a restaurant? Okay. And the answer is no, we're not going to start with that because apparently Reddit removed it. Oh, well. Oh, well. All right, we're not going to start with that one. That was funny. I popped it up, and then it's like, now Reddit removed that one. Oh, well. Well, let's try this one then. Am I the antagonist for telling a friend that her girlfriend never loved her? Let's see. Okay. All right. It says here, the OP says, quote, I, 19-year-old male, and my two friends, 18-year-old female and 20-year-old female, are in a relationship. We usually text and talk like, you're such a loser, or you get zero blank, or I would have been totally fine like that until they both crossed boundaries and made fun of me. So I made fun of them, too, saying, well, she only dated you because she felt bad, right? And the 20-year-old female started getting angry about it, telling me I'm insensitive to her feelings. But when she was making fun of me, her and her partner never thought of my feelings. So I want to know, am I the antagonist? Um, ooh. Um, everyone gets antagonist points here, folks. Everyone gets antagonist points here. Every last one. Okay? Yeah, you're a prick, and you're a prick, and you're a prick. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, the The girls sh- shouldn't have crossed the boundaries like that to make fun of him. On the other hand, his clapback was a little much. Seriously, his clapback was a little much. I'm gonna give them all. I'm gonna give them all at least one antagonist point each. I mean, actually, scratch that. I'm giving him two antagonist points. His clapback was a little much. So, yeah. All right. All right. So, what about you, Rose? Any interjections on that one for yourself? Yes, no, maybe. All right, let's because those of you in the chat room, oh, you've been somewhat out of it today. That's okay, Rose. All right, let's see what else we got here. You don't know? Yeah, that one was kind of an everyone's an idiot there. All right, let's see here. Am I the antagonist for running away from home after stepmom destroyed my laptop? Oh, God. All right, it says here. Throwaway account because I know my stepmom's on here. Sorry if I have trouble using punctuation. I'm on mobile. To start off, my stepmom, who we'll call Sarah, and I have never been close as my dad cheated on my mom with her, who was doing drugs at the time, and he kept me away from my mom and got full custody. Okay. I resent her for this, as I feel she is the reason my parents split up. When I was younger, she would lock me in the bathroom as a punishment, and I would be locked up until my father came home, and if I turned the light on, she'd give me a spanking. Oh, God. Well, the big incident came when I started dating my long-term friend who we'll call Sophia. Me and Sophia have known each other since we were in diapers. We started dating in January, and my stepmother hated it, so she banned her from coming over to my house and called her parents to give them an ultimatum. Either she breaks up with me or she'll make their life a living. Oh, my God. Well, this is where the big finale came one day. She caught me and Sophia making out in my room. She kicked Sophia out and took my laptop and threw it down the stair. Oh, jeez.
Sounds like my mom.
My laptop now no longer turns on, and I snapped. I flipped my stepmom off and called my mom, who came to pick me up. Well, I'm now living with my mom and haven't talked to stepmom since. My father says I'm overreacting, and I told him I won't take a fucking step in that house for as long as Sarah is there, and then I hung up. Father and stepmom say I'm the asshole, or the antagonist in this case, but I really don't give a fuck about what they say, but I'm starting to feel bad about how I took this. Am I the antagonist here? No, no, no. Zero antagonist points for you, OP. Zero, zip, nada, nothing. Zero antagonist points. You are well within your right to be angry. Seriously. When I was reading that, I don't know if you heard Dana in the background reading about the stepmom, and Dana's like, "Oh, sounds like my mom." I have met Dana's mom. Yeah, she's a piece of work.
She drools less poison slime for an ancient monster than you'd think.
Yeah, she's a piece of work, really, and not in a good way.
She's the kind of role model Charles Manson could look up.
Yeah, Dana says she's the kind of role model Charles Manson would look up to. The dad gets I would say two antagonist points. But the stepmom, oh my God. Listen, okay, yeah, no, I don't care how old your kid is. You don't get to dictate. You don't get to dictate who your kid loves or dates. You just don't. So you get three antagonist points. Sorry. By the way, the antagonist point scale is a scale of 1 to 5, in case you're wondering. So, all right, all right. Next up, what do we have here? All right. Am I the antagonist for telling someone they're part of a multi-level marketing scheme, aka a Ponzi or pyramid scheme? Very short. Quote, there's this girl I know from high school, and she's selling Arbonne. Oh, God. I feel like I should tell her it's an MLM, but I also don't want to be a dick and ruin her mood. I don't know her well, so maybe it would be weird, but also I feel like I'd want someone to tell me, and if I do tell her, how do I tell her without oh God, without hey girlying her or making her feel stupid? First of all, no, you are not the antagonist because saving people from pyramid schemes is like is it's it's always the honorable thing. You know, it's one of those. Just tell her hey, you know this is a pyramid scheme, right? It's like and and the thing is there are some pyramid schemes out there that are actually backed up by real entities like for example if any of you have heard of Primerica, Primerica is a division of Citibank, and basically Primerica sells itself as a group of what's a word I'm looking for of accounting professionals, right? Except you have to pay them $200 to get trained for it. And the reason why I know this is I actually went to a Primerica seminar once before I knew what Primerica was. And as I'm listening to this, eventually what was going through the back of my mind was this is a pyramid scheme. Because I did not expect an entity like Citibank to be part of, a pyramid scheme, It's just something I didn't expect. So yeah. So needless to say, I didn't take that job. Um but yeah. But yeah, how do you do it without telling her she's stupid? Just simply tell her, you're in a pyramid scheme. Starkle, welcome to the stream. Do you want to join us on the? Do either you or Rose want to join us in the voice chat to discuss some of these? Because I know Starkle, I know you joined us in the voice chat last time we did this. It's up to you. So yeah, telling someone that they're part of a pyramid scheme. It's always the honorable thing. All right. You're all good in chat for now? Oh, okay. That's okay. And like I said, those of you in chat, join in the discussion even if it's not in the voice chat. Join the discussion in the regular chat. Okay. All right, let's see. Am I the antagonist for having more fun at my cousin's wedding than I did at my sister's? Okay, let's take a look at this. My sister and my cousin have had beef since they were teens. At first, it was over silly and petty stuff that mostly had to do with the bad relationship our mom had with our aunt, my cousin's mom. But later, my cousin and my sister's beef got worse for more serious reasons, such as sabotaging job opportunities for each other. Oh my God. Sabotaging each other's friendships or relationships. Jeez. Some financial problems they face, both of them were at fault since both of them had it out for each other. So it was not just one party doing most of the unprovoked things and the other party just defending themselves. It was both of them through many years. God, there's rivalries and then there's this. Growing up, I was not that close to my sister because we didn't have many things in common. I grew close to my cousin, though, not besties or anything. We just had an overall better relationship, and we shared some similar interests, such as hobbies or same tastes in music. To get to the main point, my sister got married a month ago. She had a more traditional ceremony. I'm not a fan of traditional ceremonies and the traditional music, but I know my sister loves them. Never once did I judge or disapprove of her choice of wedding. It was her wedding, and as long as she and her husband had fun, it's no one else's business. I danced a bit on some traditional songs and dances, but not a lot. My cousin got married last Saturday. Since we share similar music tastes, I enjoyed her wedding more because it was songs I could actually enjoy. So I danced a lot more than I did at my sister's wedding. My sister has then since held it against me and said that I'm taking a stance against her and I'm favoring my cousin over her. And how I'm a shitty sister for not sitting my ass down on my cousin's wedding and how I didn't even dance as much to her wedding. But I enjoyed cousin's wedding more. And everyone's going to gossip about it. I told her that nobody but her and our cousin care about this petty shit. And I'm sure none of the guests give a fuck about their silly beef or even know of it, to be honest. My father sided with me and told my sister to stop acting like a kid throwing a tantrum. But my mom said I did the wrong thing by dancing more at cousin's wedding because I was sending the wrong message and betraying my sister. Am I the antagonist? I just enjoyed the music more. No! I mean, come on. No one has the right to dictate to you what you find more fun. I mean, come on. I mean, it's basically asking what did you have what did you have fun at more? The more the more traditional type stuff that you find boring, or basically the rave
That's
wedding,
like
you
saying
know?
that's like saying my party had boiled broccoli. Why did you like cake at her party more?
Yeah, yeah. Dana nailed it even better than I could. It's like it. Yeah, it's like saying my party had boiled broccoli. Why did you enjoy her cake more? You know?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, entirely what it
yeah.
is.
It's like yeah, the cousin's wedding, according to the OP, had better music. So she danced more. I mean, I would feel the same way. It's like it's like think of when you go dancing at a nightclub, right? And sometimes the DJs will rotate between different styles of music. Back when I was a kid, the DJs at club semesters, there'd be a block where they'd play more pop dance stuff. There'd be a block where the DJ would play more hip hop. There'd be a block where they play more hardcore ravey stuff. And I would dance more at the more hardcore ravey stuff. I mean, seriously, same, yeah,
And I could be having a wonderful time, but I'd never dance at all.
yeah. So OP is not the antagonist here. No way, no how. Yeah, OP is not the antagonist here. The sisters, it's like I mean the sister and the cousin. Listen, okay. Just no. Just no, okay? Seriously. I mean, let it be. Seriously, let it be. So she had more fun at the other wedding. So what? I mean, come on. It is petty, but going back up earlier, it's like talking about what the sister and the cousin were doing before. It's like sabotaging each other's friendships, sabotaging job opportunities. It's like, sister, cousin, what the hell? You're trying to ruin each other's lives over what? I mean, what do you find so horrible about each other that you have to resort to that?
I think
The both of you get 4 antagonist points each, okay?
a lot of straight women get nuts when it's their wedding. You know that from me.
Yeah, but this was before the wedding, hun. I'm talking about stuff they were doing, even before the wedding. It's like, you know, it's like, come on. All right, all right, all right. Let's go back. Let's pick another one here. People have different tastes. Yeah, exactly. Starko's like, yeah, petty. Moving on. All right. Ah. Am I the antagonist for expecting my husband's ex to change her name. Ooh.
She can't have that name anymore. I want it.
Let's see. I, a 45-year-old woman, have been married to my husband, 55-year-old guy. Well, of course, if he's a husband, yeah, it stands to reason he's a guy. For 5 years, together for 6.5 years. Yes, both of us have children from previous marriages. When we married, his daughter was in her late teens and now in her early 20s. Oh God, someone typed this one out wrong. Her mom, his ex, was engaged to another man and eventually did marry him, but their marriage ended before their 2 year mark. When she married him, she took on her new husband's last name. I knew this because I'm friends with my stepdaughter on Facebook, who gets tagged by her mom on a lot of posts. So I'm able to see her mom's profile info. Well, fast forward to recently. I was scrolling through Facebook and a post with my stepdaughter showed up. Let's be clear, I was not searching through her profile. It just came up on my feed, as many other friends' posts do. Well, I happened to notice that she was tagged by her mom, whose name I noticed was changed back to my husband's last name. What?
You can have any name you want. Nobody owns a name.
I found this strange since they had divorced over 10 years ago and she had took the time to change her last name to a new man's name, then back to my husband's. She had to actively change it when she got her divorce from her last husband, so she intentionally did this. Not like it just defaulted back. So I asked my husband if he knew anything about it, and he had no clue. He asked his ex if she legally changed her, if it was just on Facebook. She confirmed that she legally changed it back to his name and said it was none of his business. But he and a lot of his family felt uncomfortable with this. She has no ties to his family anymore whatsoever. She became more defensive and stated her reasoning was to share the same last name as her daughter, as she wanted the quote unquote credit, literally her exact words, for raising her, which I feel is a strange claim to make regarding your child, as though she's an object or something. She said all kinds of things about me and accused me of Facebook stalking her, which she thought is how I found out. The issue for me is that my stepdaughter is in a very serious relationship and plans to get married soon and plans to take on her husband's last name. So what's her mom going to do then? Take on her daughter's husband's last name so she can match names again and take credit? I don't know. I've dropped the issue. I know I'm the one and only Mrs., but I was just curious. What do y'all think? Am I the antagonist? Is it weird to change your name back to your ex of over 10 years, even though he has remarried? I found it kind of sad, honestly, and clingy. Like, move on already. All right. Well, no one is getting 0 points here. No one. Because first of all, OP gets one antagonist point because when you think about it, when you think about it, the ex can name herself whatever she wants, and the reason why I take that position is just simply due to my own background. I've had to change my name once in my life. And and names are fair game. Um. On the other hand, with the ex, I have to give her one antagonist point, just one, because yeah, it is a little creepy. I do have to admit. Um, because I'm going to say this right now. That whole story of, well, I want me and my daughter's last names to match. That's bullshit. That I'm gonna say it right now. That's bullshit. Um, Especially since said daughter is changing her last name soon anyway. So yeah, that's bullshit. I I'm calling you out on that. So yeah, so neither of them get off scot free. On the other hand, they both also have good points behind what they did and how they think too. So like I said, just a slight antagonist point. One antagonist point for both of them. All right. Huh. Okay. All right, next one. Let's see here. Am I the antagonist for refusing to be a groomsman for a wedding due to anxiety slash depression? I'll say this right now. First impression is, in all likelihood, the answer will be no, but, well, let's see. I actually feel guilty as fuck for doing this, but one of my best friends is getting married. He's asked me to be a groomsman for his wedding. I struggle with anxiety and depression, and I'm seeing a therapist, and I've tried about 5 different medications, but despite all that, I'm not feeling much better. And in fact, there's a different medication that I know I should try, but I'm too scared of the side effects to try it, so I've kind of hit a brick wall. But anyways, just a few days ago, I told my friend that I don't feel up for being a groomsman and socializing at the reception and standing during the ceremony due to anxiety and depression. On top of that, I told him I don't want to attend the wedding as a guest or the bachelor party because I'm struggling mentally. He knows I've struggled with mental problems, but since telling him a few days ago, he hasn't replied to my message. I know he's hurt, and I totally understand why. Hey, Killmate, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? So, damn, I guess I realize I'm the antagonist after typing all that out. I wish I could pull it together. No! Dude, you're not the antagonist! Shut up! You're not the antagonist. Yeah. You're not the antagonist because you have to because let me tell you something. As many people even in this very Twitch community know, you have to look out for your mental health first. Okay? And I feel weird saying that because it's something I don't live by a lot of the time. I mean, hell, look at the job I'm in right now. I can't. How many times have I said that my job is killing my mental health, but I keep doing it anyway, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got to look out for your own mental health. If the wedding's going to trigger you that much, you don't have to be part of it. You're not the antagonist. Your friend though gets a couple of antagonist points for basically saying fuck your mental illness. I want you for my wedding. Yeah. Or at least that's what it sounds like it is. I mean, if he hasn't replied to you, that means he's angry at you. He's angry at you for looking out for your own mental health. So, no, you are not the antagonist. No way, no how, no sir. Okay. All right. Next one. And keep in mind, if you're in the chat room, and you want to type out any of your thoughts about these, just go ahead. I mean, this is meant to be a discussion. I mean, I know most Reddit readers that you see on YouTube, they just it's just one sided. But no, this one's meant to be actually a discussion. You in the chat room are free to type out your thoughts on this too. Yeah, you have to look out for your mental health. It can sometimes turn fatal if you don't. Yes. Yes. Exactly that, Kiyome. Exactly that. All right. Let's uh let's see what else we got here. Am I the antagonist for telling my daughter she was not allowed to go out with friends? Well, we'll see. We'll see what type of friends these are. Using a throwaway account because my husband and sister are on here, so please give me my judgment and don't upvote. All right. All right. The OP is a 42-year-old woman. And she says, my daughter, 11-year-old girl, was asked to go to a local trampoline park with her friends. My daughter had asked me the other day if she could go to the trampoline park. I told her she could do so, but she had to do a certain amount of chores. I do this so my daughter can learn that she can have fun, but only after the work is done. The problem is that when the time had come today for her to go to the trampoline park, she didn't complete 2 of her chores. I called a friend's mom and told her she couldn't go. I told my daughter that because her chores weren't done, she couldn't go, but she began to plead with me. She began asking me if she could go, and that she told me she could do her chores after the event, but I told her no. She needs to learn the importance of deadlines. In life, you can't just push back on every deadline. This has happened multiple times before, so I hope this time will finally teach her the importance. All day, my daughter's been sulking around her room and only came downstairs twice, once to get lunch and the other to get dinner. When I told my husband why she wasn't allowed to go, he is now livid with me. My parents and sister-in-law agree with me, but my sister is pissed at me and told me it was an asshole move. Edit. For those asking how many chores she had to do and how much time was given to her, she was given 13 chores. Wash the dishes, take out the trash, mow the lawn, water the garden, walk the dog, clean the litter box, dust the shelves in the kitchen, clean her room, make my bed, wash my car, check the mail, wash the dog, and water the houseplants. She was given half of the other day and almost all of yesterday to do these easy tasks, and she failed to complete 2 of them, prompting her to not be allowed to go out with her friends. You're the antagonist, OP. You are the fucking antagonist. You are the. I was with you until you. Yeah, I was with you until the fucking chore list. You're the antagonist, OP.
This is not a farm in the Depression.
Yeah, like Dana said, this is not a farm in the Depression. I mean, for crying out loud. One of her chores is to make your bed? I could see make her bed. But yours? Fuck off with that. What you're asking her to do over those 2 days? Yeah, make my bed, wash my car. Like, come on.
The chore list down by half, and I'll switch back to the mom.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Okay. A more reasonable chore. All right. Of these chores listed here would be a more reasonable chore list if I were a parent. Help wash the dishes. In other words, don't just put it on her. You're the parent. It's actually more your responsibility than hers. But if you want to make a chore that she has to help with the dishes, then yeah. Okay. Take out the trash. Yeah, that's a normal kid chore. Mow the lawn. That's a normal kid chore. Water the garden. That's a normal kid chore. Now, part of this is the number of chores too. Walk the dog, clean the litter box, dust the shelves in the kitchen. That's pushing it. That's pushing it. Clean her room. That's normal kid chore. Telling your kid to clean her room. That's normal. Make my bed. No. Sorry, OP. You don't get to tell your kids to make your bed. No. Wash your car. No, that's your responsibility too. No. Check the mail. If the mail is like right outside, that's normal. Wash the dog. Again, I would. Well, for wash the dog, I would say it depends on who wanted the dog. If it's the kid who wanted the dog, I could see it. If you and your husband wanted the dog, then no, that's your responsibility. Water the houseplants? No, that's your responsibility. That's your responsibility. And then, out of the 13 chores, she still completed 11 of them. It's like, give her a fucking break. She's your kid, not your slave. I mean, this is bordering on child abuse, OP. I'm sorry, you're getting the full 5 antagonist points on this one. Greenbow, welcome to the stream. Yeah, all this in 2 days? Yeah, I mean, come on. You are the antagonist, OP. No, no joke. You're the antagonist. Take your L. Here, here, here. Take your L. Oh, I. This is what It's times like this. I wish I had the. I wish I had the plugin that could scan your hands as well as your head movements, because I would say, take your L. Take your L. I don't know if I'd say child abuse, but 100% shitty parenting. Well, I say it's bordering on child abuse because of the high amount of those that are actually the parents' responsibility. This is really getting into slave territory here. It's like no, and all the kid want, and the kid's 11. The kid is only 11. We're talking about a fucking 6th grader, okay? We're talking about a 6th grader. No. OP, you're the antagonist. Take your L. I'm surprised no one has called Child Protective Services on you yet. All right. Okay. Sounds like your stepfather, Kiyome. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Am I the antagonist for telling my mother-in-law my husband fussed too much over me and was treating me like I was made of glass? Okay, here we go. I'm 4 months pregnant with our first child, and while my husband's been very sweet and attentive, he also treats me like I'm made of glass and fusses over me constantly. Any minor inconvenience I face, he goes to extreme lengths to fix for me. And even if I offhandedly mention wanting something, he immediately gets it for me, even when it's something ridiculously like a pastry from a specific bakery in a different country. This must be the EU. He's cleared his schedule and canceled business trips because he thinks I looked off, even though I tell him I'm fine, which is something he would never have done pre-pregnancy. He had a new mattress delivered 2 hours after I told him my body was aching after I woke up, even though I told him it wasn't because of the bed, but because I slept in the same position for too long. He insists I shouldn't drive or take public transport. He freaks if I carry anything heavier than a book and checks to make sure I feel okay every hour. I know he's just trying to show he cares and make things as easy as possible for me, but it gets a bit much sometimes. We had dinner with his parents recently, and his mother asked me if my husband was looking after me. She joked that if he wasn't stepping up, she would handle him. I told her she didn't need to say anything to him because he already fussed too much over me and was treating me like I was made of glass. My husband denied it, but my mother-in-law says dad was the same, so she believed me. On the way home, my husband was hurt and upset over what I said to his mother. I tried to explain why I said it, but I think I put my foot in my mouth because he just got more upset and said I should have spoken to him if I had a problem with his behavior instead of complaining to his mother. Am I the antagonist? Well, first of all, yeah, your husband is just trying to look out for you. On the other hand, it's it's a bit creepy. Seriously, your husband's being a bit creepy. I do have to admit. Um, it, I mean, there's looking after you, and then there's not allowing you to do fucking anything. Um, God, I don't want to give the husband antagonist points because his heart's in the right place. It really is. Um, but I do have to give him an antagonist point. It's like yeah, hubby, you're being a little possessive. I know your heart's in the right place, but just back off a little. Those who get pregnant do just fine with their pregnancies without being kept indoors and in bed 24/7. Okay, it's like, come on. So you do. So yeah, I have to give you one antagonist point, and it's an antag. How can I say this? It's an antagonist point with hearts and flowers on it because I know your heart's in the right place. Uh, OP. I have to give you an antagonist point too, because yeah, you should have talked to your husband first. Yeah.
From the sound of it, he wasn't really listening.
Um. Well, I. Well, I mean, here's the
Probably saying
thing.
don't fuss OP.
It. Yeah. Nothing in this post says that she said anything to him about it. And that's what should have happened first, before anything. Greenbow, I wouldn't call OP an antagonist, but I wouldn't consider OP doing something that bad. It really comes down to how the husband acted after being told. Well, yeah, yeah. So no one gets off scot free here between the two of them. But it's basically a matter of husband's heart is in the right place, and wife OP should have said something. I mean, all right. He needs to let go a little. Yeah. I mean, it's like yeah, nothing really bad. Just, just calm down. Just calm down. Have husband read some things about pregnancy and how it usually isn't that big a deal. Okay. I mean, yeah. For some who get pregnant, yeah, it can be a big deal. But from what OP is saying here, apparently for her, it really isn't that big a deal. In other words, she's just having an average pregnancy. You know, it's not like it needs some severe medical intervention or anything like that. Sounds to her like she's just having an average pregnancy, and most people who become pregnant can find they can do most of what they do in life. All right. Next one. Let's see what we got here. Oh God. Am I the antagonist for not wanting my boyfriend to remain friends with past flings and exes when he has cheated on me in the past? Ooh, this one might be a toughie. Let's see. My boyfriend cheated on me last year. He lied to my face about it the whole time. He's lied about lots of things. One thing he's lied about is female friends. Almost all of them have been people he met on dating apps or slept with. I understand that you can be friends with past exes, but he lied to me about the nature of the friendships and how they met, leading me to believe they never slept together when he had in fact slept with them all. After the cheating, I didn't want him to remain friends with him. I just felt he was just so used to keeping options around. There's one in particular that he had finished a relationship with just before he met me 2 years ago. Initially, he lied about her too. I know she has a soft spot for him still because I saw their messages. They game together and he wants to have phone calls or hang out if she asks. I just don't feel comfortable, especially after the cheating. He told me if I made me choose, he would pick having her as a friend. I have not made him choose. I feel bad about it all. Am I the antagonist for not wanting him to be friends with her / these people? Why I may be the antagonist. You can't dictate who someone's friends with. He says it's strictly platonic. All right. First of all, OP, dump his ass. Seriously, dump his ass. I mean, if you really can't trust him that much, dump him. I mean, because yeah, you are right. You can't dictate who someone is friends with, and you understand that. So um, so yeah, and because of the past, you are understandable to feel wary about it. It doesn't. I mean, you didn't. According to the post here, it doesn't sound like you actually told him to dump his friends, but you just simply said that you feel uncomfortable about it. And given his past, yeah, that's understandable. But seriously, OP, dump him. dump him completely and utterly. You know, there are a lot of other guys you could be with who there are a lot of other guys you could be with who would treat you like royalty, you know. But dump this idiot. Um so I'm not giving you any antagonist points. Normally because you didn't actually give him an ultimatum. You just said you were uncomfortable about it. You didn't actually give him an ultimatum. You get zero antagonist points. Your boyfriend gets all the antagonist points. 5 out of 5. I'm sorry. That it's like what does he expect you to do? And just the fact that he said, well, if you make me choose, I'll choose my friends. At that point, if I were you, I'd say, fine, fine, we're done. Yeah, I mean, come on. Dump his ass. DTB. Dump that bastard. Well, no, well, the thing is, Starkle, she did speak up. According to what it says here, it does sound like that she did say that she was uncomfortable with him still being friends with him. She didn't say that she had to break up the friendships. She did say that she was uncomfortable. So I wouldn't even give her that. I wouldn't even give her that. So, yeah. So, yeah, dump him. Dump him. Dump that bastard. Okay. To paraphrase Tom Likas, you know. All right. All right, let's see here. Am I the antagonist for not having sympathy for someone who's suggesting that my husband cheat on me? Oh, God. OP is a 26-year-old woman. She says, my husband, 32-year-old guy, made friends with a man who's a bit of a party animal and, in his own words, non-monogamous. Let's call him Trevor. Ever since moving to the state we live in, it's been pretty difficult for either of us to make friends. So when my husband, let's call him Carlos, met Trevor, they seemed to get on right away and they related to each other a lot. Now on to the problem. Carlos recently traveled out of state to go see a concert and meet up with some of his friends to catch up. Trevor happened to be there as well, so after a couple of days being out there, they meet up and begin hanging out. Carlos describes Trevor's behavior as manic and reckless, i.e., picking fights with bouncers, drinking excessively, and overall being really obnoxious. Then Trevor tried to convince him to buy a hotel room so that he could sleep with a woman he had met the night before. He said no, and Trevor said he'd tell the woman to bring someone else so that he wouldn't be alone, if you catch my drift, unquote. My husband got uncomfortable with this. Good! And cut the time he was spending with him short. Double good! I should also mention that this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Carlos and Trevor have been hanging out at our house while I was working with a few other people, including 2 other women. One of the women stormed off randomly, and when my husband asked Trevor why, Trevor says, well, she's mad that I didn't tell her you were married. Ah, jeez. Fast forward to today. Both are back from their trip, and Trevor's acting really upset at something that happened while he was traveling and won't tell Carlos what's wrong. Carlos texted me about it while I was at work, saying he looked really depressed and wasn't talking much. I told him, well, I don't have sympathy for a man who suggests you cheat on me. He texted back that I was being really insensitive. Aw, man. And something really bad must have happened while he was out there to put my biases aside to help out a friend. I told him that if he brings Trevor to our house, I would go stay with my mom as I didn't feel comfortable with him being there after what he did. He told me that I was being an asshole and not to wait up, as he wasn't going to be home that night. I haven't heard from him since. It's been several hours and he won't reply to me at all, so I'm really second-guessing myself here. Am I the antagonist? Oh. when I began to read this, I figured this was going to be a situation like the movie Bachelor Party. If you've seen, I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's a 1982 movie starring Tom Hanks. And the plot of the movie is Tom Hanks's character, right, is about to get married to someone, and his party animal friends want to throw him this big bachelor party. Is your last night as a free man, blah blah blah. And at one point they tried to hook him up with some rando at the party, and he refused. He refused. I mean, he let the party go on because he still likes parties. But and the thing is, said fiance eventually crashed the party. Found out what was saw everything that was going on. There were all kinds of girls there, and she was upset at him, and she's trying to say it's off, it's off. And Tom Hanks's character's like, no, wait a minute. And Tom Hanks's character stands up in front of the whole party and asks, "Have I had sex with any woman at this party?" And just everyone says in unison, "No." And they comes back down and says, "See? He stayed faithful. Yeah, he threw this huge party just before his wedding, and with his friend's help, but you know, yes, there were a lot of girls there, but he stayed faithful to her. He let the party go on because, well, it was a party." but he stayed faithful to his fiance, and well, she kind of calmed down after that. But first of all, OP, no, you are not the antagonist here. And even reading earlier, thinking that was a bachelor party situation. No, you're not the antagonist because yeah, Trevor gets all the asshole points here, or the antagonist points, I should say. Trevor gets all the antagonist points here. 5 out of 5. He's trying to break you and Carlos up. I mean, however, when I started reading the end, that Carl, I'm starting to wonder if Trevor might be getting to Carlos a bit. Yeah, because well, Starkole. Think of when it was too. It was 1982, and in 1982, it even more than it is today. It was even more of a meme. The whole bachelor party to sow your wild oats one last time was kind of a meme back then, which is why the movie was made in the first place. So it was understandable at the time that she would think that, given first impressions. But in this story here, yeah, OP gets no antagonist points, 0, not a drop. Trevor gets 5 out of 5, and as for Carlos, we don't really have enough information here. I would say at least 1 for not realizing that Trevor is trying to break the two of you up. It's like he's my friend. It's like he's trying to break us up. It's like, dude. It's like, Carlos, seriously, have, you know, but I mean, we also don't know what happened to Trevor either. So, yeah. Yeah, Carlos is a fool. Yeah, exactly, Rose. Carlos is a fool. That's why he gets one antagonist point. OP gets no antagonist point. Trevor, fuck you, Trevor. I have no sympathy for Trevor either. So, yeah. So that's where we're going on this one. Although with this one, I'm curious about the comments. Let's see here. Right here. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. My husband called me an asshole because I wasn't being supportive of his friend even after something bad happened to him. I think I might be the antagonist after threatening to stay with my mom because I was uncomfortable with Trevor being there after he suggested Carlos cheated me. Carlos claimed that he needed both of us there to be able to talk about what happened, and I was being inconsiderate and mean. Ooh. Yeah, not the antagonist, not the antagonist, not the antagonist, not the antagonist, not. Yeah. The consensus is pretty much not the antagonist. So, all right, all right. Let's see here. Ah, am I the antagonist for buying my wife a gift, but getting her cousin and my wife's family mad by doing so? Well, what's the gift? Let's see here. My wife and I have been living together for 5 years. I'm 30, she's 29. My wife's best friend and only friend is her cousin, and she really enjoys her time with her. But for many months, I've noticed that her cousin doesn't actually like my wife, but is using her for her needs. I told my wife, but she said she's always been like that and not to worry about it. I was still convinced that she still hates me and my wife, but I ignored it. 2 weeks ago, my wife and her cousin got in a contest where the winner gets a drawing tablet. Yeah, it was a drawing contest. One day before the contest deadline, I asked my wife to show me the drawing, and she said she didn't do it. I spent about 10 minutes asking her what happened till she finally broke down and told me that her cousin had been insulting her, telling her that if she wins, she'll never talk to her again, that she really needed this drawing tablet. I spent the night calming my wife down and cheering her up until she felt better, but she said she doesn't want to participate anymore. I took the next day off to go out with my wife outside to get her to forget what happened. Yesterday, the results were announced. Surprisingly, her cousin won. The whole day yesterday and morning today, her cousin spent it talking to my wife about how she is better than her at drawing and rubbing the prize in her face, almost like how an 8-year-old would act. But the thing that my wife didn't know, when she told me yesterday that her cousin won, today after work, I bought her a drawing tablet as a gift. That's better than what her cousin got, and told her to rub it in her cousin's face, and she did that. Her whole family, sadly, including my wife's parents and siblings, called me and my wife and called us the antagonists. And my wife doesn't deserve the gift, and I shouldn't have given this to her because she didn't win the contest. My wife started crying again, understandably, because even her parents aren't supporting her. She's sleeping right now, and I can't sleep because of what happened today. I just wanted to make my wife happy. Am I the antagonist? I'll give you half an antagonist point for basically I'll give you half an antagonist point for telling your wife to rub it in her cousin's face. You know, but that's all. I mean yeah, it was petty, but for everything else, the cousin, I'm giving 3 out of 5 antagonist points. The cousin, I'm giving 3 out of 5 antagonist points. The wife should just your wife really needs to just.
Not read me the riot act for being a racist because I didn't support white people in Chick-fil-A.
Oh God.
Just learn it.
Oh, Dana just said that on. See, Dana posted an anti Chick-fil-A meme to her Facebook today, and she's saying that someone called her a racist for being anti-white because she doesn't like Chick-fil-A. Blink, 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 blink. Um, yeah. Well, anyway, back to this one here. But yeah, you shouldn't have rubbed it in the cousin's face. But on the other hand, Cousin gets 3 out of 5 antagonist points for just, well, being an asshole in general. I mean, not just about the tablet. Not just about the tablet. But it's like, if how why does your wife all right, it begs the question, why does your wife enjoy her time with her cousin? If all her cousin does is basically say, I'm better than you are, I'm better than you are, I'm better than you are. If that's all the cousin does, why, wife? Why are you hanging out with her? And and the cousin getting mad just because the husband decided to do something nice and get his wife in a better drawing tablet than she would have won anyway. I mean, I mean that's that's the thing. Oh my god. Automod Y? Oh, okay. I'll allow that, Rose. Yeah. I will allow that comment, Rose. Yeah, oh, Kiyome's like, I saw Dana's post. Funny. Yeah. He says, my grandma also thought it was funny. But yeah, hun, Kiyome thought it was funny too. He agrees with you.
They're all mad because it says straight white people. You're all bigots because you put this up here. You wouldn't say this if you were bigots. Yes, apparently
Oh man.
you're a bigot now.
Did you post that on your own Facebook?
Oh, I'm getting it back on the other one.
Oh, where else did you post it? Big, yeah. The post it shows a Chick-fil-A, and instead of the Chick-fil-A logo, it's in the style of the Chick-fil-A logo. It says "Bigot Bird, tasteless crap for straight white people," and well, it's kind of true. You see, part of the thing about racism is it. Part of the thing about racism is there's a power element to it as well, and that's why and that's why and that's why to a in a big way, making fun of straight white people doesn't you're and that it's a difference between mocking up and mocking down. In this case, you're mocking the people with the power, which is what comedy is supposed to be when you think about it. But yeah, agree with Rose. Cousin is an asshole. That's all. Yeah, yeah. The cousin, like I said, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 for basically being an 8-year-old. I'm better than you are. I'm better than you are. I'm better than you are. Shut up, cousin. But like I said, you do get. But OP, you and your wife do get half an antagonist point for doing the same thing back at her. You don't. You don't win you don't win childish arguments like that. You just don't. All right. All right, let's go to what's next. All right. Let's see what we got here. And I hope judging by the topic, I would say not the antagonist, but we'll see. The subject is, am I the antagonist for asking my friend to use my proper pronouns? All right. OP is a 19-year-old trans woman who actually is apparently partially non-binary too. If 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 she actually, it sounds like they're both partially non-binary. Because OP uses she it pronouns, and the friend who is 17 is 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 cis female who uses pretty much any and all pronouns. So likely non-binary. And OP says, I came out to her last July and asked her to use my new pronouns, which she agreed to. But since then, whenever she used my pronouns while I was there, she called me by my old pronouns that I don't use anymore. I pointed that out to her and asked her to take an extra second to just make sure she doesn't mess it up. She talked about how it was expected for people to mess up your pronouns when they're new, and because I keep changing them, it's hard to keep track. The only thing I've changed has been my name, which I don't care about, and adding the it option. She got upset at me, saying that she's trying to use my new pronouns and that we already correct it in the moment, so there's no problem. So I asked her again at the end of the conversation to just take an extra second to make sure not to mess up. She now has blocked me on everything and refuses to speak to me in any way. Is this a sensitive topic? I feel like it's not, but I've definitely been wrong before. I feel like if I wasn't the antagonist, she wouldn't have blocked me. Edit. I have only known her for about 2 years, and almost exactly a year ago came out to her as trans and started using she, her. She, it came a few months back. She never really messed up my name after I came out or any of the times I changed it, just my pronouns. And at 3, this is not about her not calling me it. She doesn't call me she or it. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, you're all right. So basically, both parties here are technically non-binary because because they both use because among both of their accepted pronouns are non-binary pronouns. Um, but it looks like the OP has more of a preference toward a female identity, whereas the friend may also be the same way. Uh, but if the friend is out, but according to what I'm saying here, the friend is outright starting to use he, which is like no, 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 no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but as someone with the history I have, I'm going to give the friend 5 out of 5 antagonist points. 5 out of 5. Because apparently, from what I'm reading here,
Oh yeah, what?
the friend didn't start messing up like that until OP added the it option. Yeah?
Furry attacked me. He said that bigots like me are what's wrong with America, and that my bigotry needs to go away.
Oh my
Bigotry was
God.
assholes to me.
Where did you post this, hon?
They're leaking into the atheist, the darn atheist.
Oh God.
Yes, I'm a terrible bigot because I said bad things about straight white homosexuals. Which means I'm the worst kind of bigoted racist on the world, and my racism needs to die.
Oh jeez.
Yes,
Yeah.
not liking straight white male homophobes makes me a racist now. I love that. That's just excellent. Or it's just excellent. I'm not sure.
Oh, Kilme says even when I change my pronouns, you only call me she 3 times. Uh, I messed up that many times? Oh my God. I am so sorry.
Someone mispronounced me, I take my shirt off. Works wonders.
Oh my God. Oh, I, I'm, oh God. Kill me. I didn't know I even messed up that many times. I am so sorry. How can I say this? I feel like an asshole now.
Get used to it. That's your life from now on if you're trans.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. I should know, but no. No, I feel pretty low now. I should know better.
Oh, come on.
What?
If you're out in this world, you better grow a thicker skin than that because people are going to mispronounce
No,
you
no,
for
no,
the
no,
rest
no, no.
of your
No,
life.
Killmate, no. Killmate's not upset. He's not upset. Because he says, "Cool, I know you didn't mean it. You're bound to accidentally slip up."
I know, but
No, Killmate understands.
everybody's flying apart at being mispronounced.
But
Guess what?
I'm
I've been
I'm pissed at
mispronounced-
myself.
I've been mispronounced for almost 22 years. Get used to it.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, no. No, I think I know I think Dana thought you were upset at me over it. It's like no, I'm upset at me over it because I should know better. Um, but yeah, it looks like it looks like the friend um it looks like the friend did not mispronoun OP for almost 2 years until OP added the it option. And at that point, friends started mispronouncing her. That is some bullshit. It's like you keep changing your pronouns. It's like no, according to what she wrote here, she only added the it option a few months ago. In those 2 years, she has never been he.
I'm getting they them all the time, and I hate it.
Yeah, Dana says she gets they them'd all the time and she hates it. I've told I've told people because there are some people who think that they theming is a get out of jail free card. And whereas I appreciate that their hearts might be in the right place, no, for some people they them is still a huge mispronouncing and Dana is one of them.
I didn't get a vagina.
And I am to an extent as well. I do have to admit, you know, I put it's like I put my pronouns on my Facebook, I put them on my Twitch, I put them on my YouTube, I put them on my Facebook, and I still occasionally get they them. I'm like my pronouns are right the fuck there.
But that's what you're supposed to say now, also.
And the thing is, and I will say I won't call her out by name because I know her heart's in the right place. There is one particular streamer that I have rated numerous times, and I've told her numerous times. I've actually corrected her numerous times
Her
as to
pronouns
my
are
pronouns,
incorrect.
and she's still occasionally she's still they theming me more often than not.
Anybody they them's me is gonna get kicked with a shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, the time frame works for messing, but it's strange that they all of a sudden mess up. Yeah, that's why I'm giving the friend. That's why I'm giving the friend the full 5 out of 5 antagonist points because yeah, I'm convinced friend is actually doing it to be a dick. You get 0 antagonist points, OP. All right. Yeah, yeah, and that one I think the friend is actually doing it to be a dick. All right. Ha. Okay. Would I be the antagonist? Starkle, you give a warning 1 point but 5 if repeat. Well, it sounds like it is. It sounds like it had been repeating. That's the thing. All right. Would I be the antagonist if I backed out of a friend's wedding? All right. Let's see this one. OP is a 28-year-old non-binary, and they say, "quote." So I and Charlotte, 27-year-old female, used to live together with her then boyfriend, now fiance, Greg, 27-year-old guy. We got along pretty well, but moved our separate ways when Charlotte and Greg moved in with their buddy, Tony, who's 26 and non binary. I've never really gotten along with Tony. We had a bad falling out last year, and I subsequently fell out of contact with Tony, Charlotte, and Greg until recently. About 2 months ago, Charlotte reached out to me, inviting me to her and Greg's wedding, as well as a housewarming party with her and her friends, including Tony. I said yes, then reached out to Tony privately to confirm that they'd be okay with seeing me and how I should expect we behave around each other. Tony told me it was their idea to invite me over for the hangout and that they were willing to bury the hatchet and that they don't hate me. Great. The housewarming party went smoothly. I was very nervous, but happy to see my old friends, even if we weren't all as close as before. Charlotte invited me later to another party at their place, Tony included. Everything was going smoothly. Tony, Charlotte, and another friend and I were sharing stories and chatting, and I brought up how I was interested in pursuing law. Big, nerve wracking career change since I'm an artist. I said that 2 weeks prior, I'd looked online and found a mixer for LGBTQ lawyers in the state. I'm bi and non binary, and being moved by the idea of becoming a lawyer myself, bought a ticket and attended. It was a really fulfilling and interesting experience as a prospective student. When I told this story, Tony and Charlotte actually laughed at me, said that it was wild that that I just walked in like that. I said, well, yeah, I bought a ticket so I could go. It wasn't an event limited to lawyers, or the ticket page would have said so, or required membership to the organization to attend, and they just kept laughing. Going to this event wasn't something I was ashamed or embarrassed about, and I wasn't and I wasn't laughing at myself. I was actually proud of myself for going alone. Tony then takes out their phone and calls their lawyer friend Barbara, 20-ish female. Tony told me to recount the story to Barbara, a stranger. Tony didn't ask my permission or consent before making the call. I recounted the story to Barbara awkwardly. She was super nice and gave me advice and offered to chat with me about any questions I had, and told Tony to give me her contact info. Thing is, I'm pretty pissy about being mocked for Tony's amusement. It's making me seriously reconsider going to Charlotte's wedding in a few months. I'm not a bridal party member or anything, just a guest. I could try to bring up how Tony and Charlotte's behavior hurt my feelings, but I already feel like I'm on thin ice since the conflict last year, and I don't even know if I respect them enough to warrant a serious discussion about this. Would I be the antagonist if, after a brief explanation to Charlotte, I flaked out of the wedding? Oh God. well, we, they never actually said what the bad falling out was. Um, and and also, let me see here. Brown Power to pursuing law said 2 weeks prior, looked on and found a mixer and being moved by ticket and attended. And here's another thing. We also don't understand. We also don't know why Tony and Charlotte would mock OP for going to the mixer. I mean, I mean, there's a lot of shit we don't know here. I mean, you wouldn't think that it would be because it was an LGBTQ mixer, because Tony is non-binary themselves. Um, I mean, yeah. Oh, Kilmay says I tried just shutting up and going by they them for a long time for the sake that my parents wouldn't find out I'm trans. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Lo forgot to hit send. Oh jeez. Oh man, this one from from all that we have to go on. For all that we have to go on, I would say no, OP. You're not the antagonist. 0 out of 5, not the antagonist. For Tony and Charlotte, we don't know why they laughed at you, but it's the difference between 1 out of 5 antagonist points and 5 out of 5 antagonist points. Depending on what they laughed at you about, yeah, they are antagonists, but we don't know how much. So you're not the antagonist. They are one antagonist point with the option for more. Let me see. Let's see, are they? Yeah, these people are not your friends. Get these people out of your life. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. What? Sky color? Oh, yeah, that is not a good sky color at all. If you're wondering what Dane is referring to, it's kind of a greenish hue out there. Now, that is not good at all. Oh, God. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Let me check the weather radar. Temperature. Where? Um. Precipitation. There we go. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Can we put it in action? According to this, hun, it doesn't look like we'll be getting anything.
That is tornado sky. Somebody's getting something.
Yeah. Oh, I see. No. Oh, nope. We already crossed past now. According to this, hun, the worst has already passed us, but they're getting it down. They're getting it down the Mankato and Rochester areas badly.
When the air is still and humid and the sky becomes
Yeah.
yellow, that's hide in the place in the weather.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing but
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Well, if you live around here, then you know then you know what a dark yellowish or green sky means. It means the it means the something burning, hun.
we gotta clean up the pans on the stove. I put the fucking stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it means the possibility of tornadoes. But judging by the weather radar as I just saw it, we're more seeing the activity that's actually down south. Um, the places that are getting all the precipitation are are points down south of the Twin Cities area. Owatonna, Zumbrota, Rochester, Mankato. That's where the storm actually is. Because of the nature of sky, if you look south and our window does look south, um, we'll see we'll see some of the effects of that storm. So yeah. All right. So yeah, well anyway, back to this one here. No, you're not the antagonist. Your friends are definitely the antagonist. How much of antagonists they are depends on what they're making fun of you over. So, yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. Am I the antagonist for asking my ex why she got married to someone else but not me? Oh, this could be bad. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, the post got removed. The post got removed by moderators. Ah, crap. Oh, well. It got a lot of. The thing is, it got a lot of upvotes. Why did it get removed? Oh, man. Okay, how about this? Am I the antagonist for sunbathing topless in front of my older brother's friend after my brother asked me not to? Okay, here we go. My dad's best friend invited our family on vacation with his family. He has a daughter who was sunbathing topless. She told me I should try it when I mentioned how I would be too embarrassed to do it with everyone around. Everyone went out for a few days later except for the two of us. So when she went outside to sunbathe, I went with her. Her brother, who's my older brother's best friend, came back earlier than expected. I was pretty embarrassed since he decided to sit and make conversation with us. My clothes were near him, and I didn't want to go near him to get them, so I just stayed where I was and I tried to pretend I wasn't mortified. My brother ended up coming back soon after him, and he was pissed when he saw me. He told me to put my clothes on and got angry at his friend for making a joke about enjoying the view. Later on, we had an argument over it, and I was angry the next day, so even though I still found it embarrassing, I decided to sunbathe topless again, even though he asked me not to. His friend decided to stay at the villa and sit with us again. My brother got so angry at both of us, but mostly his friend, when he saw us. They had a fight that got so bad our parents had to intervene. Am I the antagonist? No, OP, you're not the antagonist here at all. I mean, For crying out loud. First of all, you weren't in public, so you had the right to be topless. You had to write the sunbit to sunbathe topless since you weren't in public. Um, well, even if you were a little embarrassed with the friend around, and the friend was obviously getting his horn dog on, you know, unless he was actually bugging you. I mean, unless he was actually directly bugging you. Um, it doesn't sound like he was bugging you enough to not do it. Uh, so kudos for you there. I had a moment like that myself, and we'll go back to Anime Detour 2004. I I was uh, I was rooming with someone. I was see at the time I didn't consider myself fully lesbian yet. I still consider myself bi, and I was rooming with some guy that I wasn't actually involved with, but I do admit I kind of had a little crush on at the time. Um, and I got out of the shower, towel wrapped around me. I wanted to get dressed. He was in the room at the time, right? And I considered asking him to leave, but then I just thought about it, and I just looked at him, and I just said I just said fuck it, I trust you, and I just flung the towel off and got dressed in front of him anyway. Seriously, seriously, some people need to just loosen up. You know, if you're a, you know, obviously OP was comfortable enough to trust the said friend to not do anything except stare. You know, uh, I do have to give the friend like maybe one antagonist point for making the sexist comment afterwards. You know, but OP, you are not at fault at all. Your brother, on the other hand, now, yeah, your brother's friend made the sexist comment, and I think your brother was trying to protect you when he really doesn't have to, but trying to tell you not to sunbathe topless anymore, that crosses the line. Your brother gets two antagonist points. Like I said, friend gets one. Friend gets one for making the sexist comment. If friend didn't make the sexist comment and just simply watched silently, and obviously you were comfortable. Yeah, obviously you may have been a little embarrassed, but you still did it again afterward, which means obviously you were comfortable enough with him sitting there. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul either way on there. The friend that gets an antagonist point for making the sexist comment afterward, but your brother trying to bar you from sunbathing topless, yeah, that's crossing the line. That is really crossing the line. So yeah, so there, and as for my incident from Anime Detour 2004, my friend actually, my friend was actually the one to be more embarrassed at that. He's like, oh well, he's like, well, I appreciate that you trust me so much. See, that's the thing, and I do have to admit, I was a lot more physically attractive back then than I am now. I do have to admit, but I think the word he meant was he felt honored that I trusted him so much. But yeah, but yeah, people have way too many hang-ups about nudity these days. All right. Kilme says, I can't even get dressed in front of a mirror, let alone someone else. And, well, frankly, I actually, Kilme, I do have to feel that as well because before I had my bottom surgery, I was the same way. So, yeah. Anime Detour 2004 was almost 2 years after that. So yeah, so I can understand that. If I can understand not wanting to, if you are still actively dysphoric, not wanting to look at yourself naked in the mirror is very understandable. All right. All right, let's try find another one here. Uh let me see here. Here's one. Am I the antagonist for not telling my husband how long a recipe was going to take to make? All right, this one sounds like it could be innocuous, but let's see. OP is a 30-year-old woman, and she says, and her husband's a 39-year-old guy. She says, my husband and I have almost 2.5-year-old twins. I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree and am currently enrolled in summer classes where I have to drive an hour and a half round trip every Tuesday. Oh, ouch. Due to my husband's job, he's away from the house for days at a time, so I'm performing single parent operations in regards to the kids. When he's home, I still cook all the dinners and do the majority of the load of taking care of the kids while trying to get my schoolwork taken care of when the kids are either at daycare or after they go to bed. My husband and I have decided to go keto recently. Keto, by the way, if you're wondering, it's basically an Atkins diet. If you're wondering, it's basically a diet where you try to eat a lot of fat without eating a lot of carbs, and it's called keto because the point is to make yourself go into ketosis and start basically crapping out huge amounts of fat. And the diet does work, but you got to be careful because if you go too extreme with it, it can be dangerous. Just letting you know. So, talk to your doctor before you do something like that. Just a little disclaimer. Okay. We decided to go keto recently, so we've had fun picking out new recipes to try. I've been eyeing this one beef stroganoff recipe for a while, but haven't had the time to make it as my days have been long and it takes 2 hours to prepare. It says the time it takes to prepare right at the top of the recipe card, right before it lists the ingredients, so it's not a secret. My husband was away from Friday morning until Monday morning, so I had zero time to do schoolwork this weekend, as I was completely exhausted from chasing the kids around, and they weren't exactly easy this weekend for me. I told my husband that I was going to stay on campus after my classes so I could finish up the homework that I was unable to do this weekend, and, well, that was fine with him. I asked him this morning if he could make that beef stroganoff recipe, and he agreed, so I sent him the recipe. I was occupied with my classes, homework, reading, and studying that I didn't even worry about him taking care of dinner. Cut to me getting home at 5:45 and dinner's nowhere near done. He started it 15 minutes before I got home. He told me that he had no idea it was going to take 2 hours, so I asked if he read the recipe card. He said he read the ingredients and that was it. Then he asked if I knew that it took 2 hours, so I said it did. This is when he blew up at me, getting so angry that I never told him that it was going to take this long. I told him I was busy and I didn't think I needed to tell him. I also said that when I remind him about something, he'll question me if I think he's an idiot. So then he told me that I shouldn't be with him because he's useless and whatnot, just basically a temper tantrum. What really made me upset is that he didn't even have a backup dinner being prepared for the kids, and we give them dinner at 6 every night, so I'm sure they were already hungry. I had to start making them something else. So am I the antagonist for not telling him how long dinner was supposed to take to make? OP, you're not the antagonist at all, and the reason why is because it said on the card how long it was supposed to make. Your husband's a doof. It's like if your husband had read the card, he would have seen the preparation time on it, right? Right here. It says the time is, well, let me go over here and highlight it. Right there. The card said it takes 2 hours to prepare. Hubby, read! Jeez. Seriously. It's like, bruh. It takes 2 hours to prepare. Not enough facepalm. I wish my avatar could facepalm because there's not enough facepalm for that. So, no, 0 antagonist points. Your husband gets 3 out of 5 antagonist points. 1 for being an idiot, and 2 for trying to make this your fault. It's like, yeah, yes, exactly, Icy. Bruh. I mean, that's too much. Tea kettle. Yep. Yeah, Dana's making tea. Yeah, Dana's making a gallon of tea, so she's using the actual tea. She's using the actual on the stove tea kettle. Although we do now have a hot pot kettle. Yeah, we do now have a hot pot kettle. You know. Yeah, but would you be able to automatically know when it's done though? Oh, it pops up. Would Okay, but would you hear it? Ah. Okay. Let's grab another one here. All right. Am I the antagonist for placing personal boundaries? Oh, Rocco Oshino with a raid. All right, let's give Ronco that shout out. Hey, Ronco, thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, she was playing Animal Crossing. You can give her a follow there. For those of you joining from Ronco's stream, we are basically doing Am I the Antagonist? So we're going to do what's probably going to be an easy one here. Am I the antagonist for placing personal boundaries? A short one here. I recently broke off this relationship with a friend. For the instance, we will call him Bill. He wasn't a good friend, and we were both happy cutting it off there. Thanks for the bit, Kiyome. I looked at the radar. Yeah, I know. Although there was this joke Minecraft server that I made and he was on. I told him it made me uncomfortable to see him active, as I didn't like conversations with said friend. I said he can do whatever, but I told him it made me feel bad. This then spiraled. Friends are horrible to me and call me a liar and a cheater. I wonder if this goes on too long, with even close friends will hate me. All right. It's one thing to have boundaries. It's another thing to say I'm triggered by seeing that you're active on Minecraft. Yeah, yeah, there's a point where you don't get I mean that's akin to saying my religion says you can't do that.
That's at least 3 of my exes.
Yeah, you're the antagonist here, OP. You are the antagonist. I mean, oh, thanks for the host, Kiyome. But OP, you're the antagonist here. Hands down, you are the antagonist. What you're basically telling your friend is, stop playing Minecraft. It triggers me. No. 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 Yeah, just unfriend him. Seriously, just fucking unfriend him. If you're that triggered by if you're that triggered by your friend Bill playing Minecraft, just unfriend him. I mean, seriously. All right. It takes 3 seconds to unfriend someone. Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right. All right. All right. Am I the antagonist for leaving work 10 minutes after my contracted hours, even when there was no one to cover for me? All right. I work in a hospital and we do loads of major operations. Most of them overrun their time, and management expects staff to stay. You can make up a gazillion reasons, but at the end of the day, you are manipulated with the usual variety of, this is the nature of our job. Show some compassion. If by 5 p.m. you know that the case will overrun, you can't refuse because they'll tell you, if you don't agree, we will have to cancel this poor patient. Sometimes you're just met with, no, you have to stay. There's no cover. This happens every single day and has been going on for years. Sometimes people stay till 3 a.m. the next day. So tonight, I finally put my foot down, and at 6 p.m., I told the coordinator, I'm really sorry, but I can't stay. They just kept saying, we'll see what we can do as there's no one around to help. By 8 p.m., I tried to hand over, but they refused, saying I just can't leave. Mind you, my day off the following day was canceled after I was coerced into working due to a staff shortage. No, you can't. It's not safe for the patient. And to be honest, I didn't have anything to say to their think of the patient card because it does make me think of how maybe 2 more hours of my time could change their lives for the better. And it gets so frustrating how you're driven beyond capacity and left exhausted, unable to give the best care you can. So I said, I'll be back in 10 minutes. If you still haven't found anyone, I'm leaving. She wasn't happy with that, said I was wasting her time and ignored me to do her computer report. Her colleague said, we're overrunning big time in our theater, too. Stop complaining. You're almost finished with your case. They're already stitching. Granted, the wounds were already being closed, but there are multiple wounds, and the patient can take any time from 10 minutes to an hour to wake up. After that, you need to clean the theater and lock everything up. In the end, they said they'll report me for being inconsiderate, ungrateful, and for compromising patient safety. There were a few nurses there who had heard the whole ordeal. Some of them said I signed up for the job and that I should be ready to stay at the drop of a hat. Others thought I was correct for standing up for myself. If they were truly concerned for patient safety, why would they ask staff to work beyond hours, depriving them of rest to function properly for work? Why has this issue been going on for years and years without any resolution? Why wouldn't they book extra staff to cover for the case? At 8:10 p.m., I gave my keys to the night coordinator, and she said someone from a closed emergency theater will arrive in 5 minutes to take over. I felt quite upset and talked to my non-healthcare savvy boyfriend about it, and although he agrees with me, he also sees why the bosses weren't happy. So, am I the antagonist for leaving work 10 minutes after my contracted hours, even when there was no one yet to cover for me? All right. Uh, I I've known people in healthcare. I've known first responders in healthcare. And unfortunately, OP, I have to say you're the antagonist here. Um, and it is because of the type of work you are in. And the fact that due to COVID, there are shortages. And the shortages are twofold. Or actually, the shortages are threefold. A, there's more people going into the hospital because of COVID. B, because of that, more hospital workers are catching COVID and therefore can't report for work. And C, a lot of people are just getting out of the healthcare business completely because they feel underappreciated due to the COVIDiots. And that's just a perfect storm for shortages at these hospitals. So if you're going to stay working at a hospital, yeah, you can't make plans. Not while the pandemic is still a thing. You cannot count on any plans whatsoever. You do have the option to quit, but yeah, if other people's lives are literally in your hands, you don't get to say no. I'm sorry. And because you're and because you are in a profession where you are expected to be the epitome of unselfishness, yet you are being selfish and putting other people's lives at risk. I have to give you the full 5 antagonist points. Now, there is another there is another angle to this. Whereas I'm still giving you the full 5 antagonist points. It depends. There's also depending on on what your contract says. Now, if you are salaried and you get paid the same no matter how many hours you work, and you end up working like double your hours sometimes, but you're not getting paid more for it, then you have a legitimate complaint. But you still have to stay for the sake of your patients. So I would say if it's a matter of you're not being paid for the extra time, then yeah, take this issue to your local labor board. Definitely. But you still have to stay because people's lives are in your hands. You have to do it. It's literally your job. Yeah, hospital management is also to blame. Hospital management, it depends on the pay structure. If OP is getting paid extra for it, then hospital management isn't really to blame. Because the hospital has to do what they have to do in order to keep the hospital staffed. They got to do what they got to do. But but like I said, it depends on whether or not the staff is paying people extra for it. And we don't know whether that's the case. So I would say I would give the staff antagonist points if they're not paying their workers extra. If they are, then they're blameless. But OP, yeah, you're in a life or death job here. You're in a literal life or death job here. You get the full 5 out of 5. I mean, like I said, if it's that bad, just quit. Seriously, if it's that bad for you, just quit. I know. Let me tell you something. It's not a job I would take these days, even if I had the knowledge and ability. All right. Let's see here. Am I the antagonist for not going to Disney World? All right. All right. The OP is a 21-year-old woman in this one. She says, quote, I'm on mobile, so excuse the formatting. Also, I'm dyslexic, so that doesn't help. I'm going to have my friend look over it some. Yeah, book club, salaried or not, the hospital management needs to better prepare for staffing fluctuations. Well, while that is true, book club, on the other hand, given the factors involved, there's just only so much preparation that they can do. There comes a point where you can only prepare just so much. Seriously. That's how bad it, I've like I said, I've known people who work in healthcare. It is that bad right now. It is that bad right now that hospitals are having trouble keeping these places staffed. That's how bad it is right now. There's only so much they can do. If they're doing, I mean, it's possible that hospital could literally be doing everything it can. All right. All right, all right. I'm dyslexic, so that doesn't help. I'm going to have my friend look over it some, though. All right, to fully understand the story, I need to give some background on my past. I have been abused from literally the day I was born to the day I was 19, and the only reason it stopped was because I moved out to live with friends. My father was my main abuser. He would mentally abuse me almost every day. He would make me feel like I was walking on eggshells. He would scream at me, threatening me, and on his drunkest days, hit me. My therapist believes he's bipolar, like me, because one moment he would be the sweetest, most caring father, and the next he would be a gaslighting and abusive drunk. Yeah, that's bipolar, all right. It took me 19 years to stand up to him, and when I did, it came out scream. And when I did, it came out screaming. I made him cry. Honestly, it felt amazing. And the last 2 years, he's been trying to be a better father to me, but he still reverts back to his old self sometimes. Last December, he and my mom separated, and now they're about to be fully divorced. It took about a week for him to find a new girlfriend who has 2 kids. ah. He immediately started gushing over his new family. He would buy the kids gifts, never yell at them, looked into colleges to pay for, and be a perfect dad or as close to perfect as he could get. Hell, he even took back the car I was driving to give to his girlfriend. Oh God. I couldn't fight that because it was in his name and he was paying for it at the time. Yeah, legally he could do it, but yeah, that was a dick move. Anyway, now for the part where I may be an asshole. So my father had been planning his trip for months to go to Disney. It was to recreate a trip we all did when I was in middle school. It was going to be a surprise for me, so when he asked and I said no, he was shocked. This is because he said that his soon-to-be stepkids and girlfriend would be coming along as well. Now my dad's mom, my grandma, has been calling me the antagonist for refusing to go. So am I the antagonist? No, no, OP, you're not the antagonist. You are under no obligation to spend time with your abuser. And and like I said, when I read that one part, this one, yeah. Whereas yes, your dad, legally your dad could take back the car. It was really still a dick move. Absolutely dick move. Um, basically your father is trying to make up for abusing you by 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 being a better dad to the Sutter family. On the other hand, it's possible that you may just be seeing your dad's public face in this too. Yeah. So yeah, dad's the antagonist here. Um, 4 out of 5 with a fifth antagonist point penciled in. Because that depends on how he's treating his new family when you're not around. Um, like I said, it's possible you could just be seeing his public face. So yeah, 4 antagonist points for sure for abusing you for 19 years, with a fifth penciled in. Okay. All right. Next. Ah. Oh, this one could be bad. Am I the antagonist for not believing my friend's mental health? Oh, this could be bad for the OP. Let's see. I've had this friend for like 6 years now, and we've always been close. However, recently he's been telling us that he believes that he has DID, and I don't believe him. I apologize if the layout is strange. I wrote this on a dying phone. DID, dissociative identity disorder. We have a couple here, even in our community, who have that. And I know Kiyome is very public about his DID. In the 6 or so years I've known him, he's always been quite honest to me about his mental health, feelings, and other things. Me and the people around me have, however, never noticed any mental health concerns regarding him and his behavior. He had mentioned suspecting that he may be depressed, but never anything about personality disorders. And around December of 2021, we had become really close friends, the closest we had been within the time of knowing him. He was very, very open to me during this time about he's treated at school, within his family, etc. Around that time, something occurred that had changed him. I'd rather not discuss it, even though this is a throwaway account. He became more kept to himself and barely told me anything. A few days before Christmas Day, he opened up a lot again, and I really didn't know how to act. In around early June or late May of this year, he had decided that he has DID and told everyone about it. Every time we had argued, he blamed it on his alters. However, never told me which one was to blame. I had done some research about DID, and none of his symptoms seemed legit. We go to school together, and I've never noticed any switches occur or different personalities speak to me during the day. His teachers also haven't apparently picked up on it either. I'd done a ton of research, and I found that the majority of the time, alters are differentiating in age, gender, and obviously personality. A few days ago, we had argued, and I had asked if he Googled the symptoms and ran with it out of anger. He replied with something along the lines of, "No, I use Wikipedia, actually." Which, believe it or not, people say, "Oh, Wikipedia, anyone can edit it," but there are a lot of articles on Wikipedia that are moderated like crazy. There are articles on Wikipedia where if you try to sabotage them, they'll get changed back like within minutes. You know, and the best Wikipedia articles are sourced to hell and back. So Wikipedia actually is overall a rather reliable source. The articles that need to be sourced are sourced. Anyway, it says I use Wikipedia. It feels like he's made it up and used it as leeway to get away with the toxic stuff he's been saying to me this past week. His mother is a nurse and also didn't believe him at first, but is now getting him checked for it. I refuse to believe it until he has an actual diagnosis, and I've never seen any fronting or personality swapping, even though I spent like 2 hours with him minimum at school. So am I the antagonist for not believing it, and should I apologize or stick with my reasoning and see what occurs? Side note, he blocked me on social media since I told him to set up stop dehumanizing me when my friend at school had asked him about it. He had blamed me and did not mention anything about personality switch, even though when we were arguing, he said he doesn't remember anything. Yeah. Yeah, Greenbow says Wikipedia can be a good source of information. It just needs to be a bigger article to be trustworthy. But I trust Wikipedia's article on DID would be one of those longer, incredibly sourced articles. Yeah, Kiyome says you have to try really fucking hard to hide DID. We try hiding it around our family. Memories and accents language are a dead giveaway. And for this one, actually, I'll throw it to Kiyome because he actually has DID, and he has switched fronts in the middle of stream before, um, and uh, and I do have to say, yesterday during stream, we did have a happy birthday to Kiyome's Alter 7, who is a cute little octo. She really is. Um, oh, that's right. Icy does too. Oh, I forgot. That's right. Icy has struggled with it some too. So we'll let Kyo. I'm gonna let Kyome and Icy feel this. What do you think on this one? What do you think? I am inclined to say that OP is the antagonist on this, but since the two of you actually do have DID, you're in more of a position to argue one way or the other than I am. So, what do you think? Pop yourselves, pop your opinions in the chat room here because I do want to know what the two of you think. This is really your conversation. I thought we were going to read about someone who was just simply depressed, but it's kind of serendipitous that we had an article about DID, and we have two people with DID right here in the chat that can actually speak up for themselves about this matter. So what do the two of you think? Is OP the antagonist or not? I mean, like I said, I'm inclined to say OP is the antagonist, but the two of you know a lot more about DID than I do. So, I mean, I mean the I do know one thing, and it's more from talking with Kiyome that that DID alters tend to sprout from traumatic experience. So it's obvious that the friend here had some kind of traumatic experience in December 2021 that OP knows about, but but doesn't feel comfortable talking about on Reddit. Killmate, it's a bit difficult if the person had repeated trauma happen. Yes, it can manifest DID because it's the brain's inability to cope with trauma. Then they probably aren't faking it. But yeah, we are obviously talking about some kind of trauma that's intense enough that even OP doesn't want to talk about it. That OP doesn't even feel that the OP doesn't even feel it's their place to talk about it. So so we're talking about something really traumatic here, and and from what I understand, usually when someone has DID, it's one of those things where you don't realize you have it until you first discover that you have an alter. I I mean I mean it's like it's like it is something that tends to sort of crop up. So so the OP is kind of wrong in that respect. Rose said I had like 20 plus alters because I was unable to cope with my anxiety and panic attacks last year. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I said, I'm inclined to say that OP is the antagonist here. uh, because only the friend knows, knows their own head. Let's see what the comments are saying. Uh, yeah. Plus, yeah, yeah. I know, Killmate. I know. Oh, someone says here blaming mental disorders to be shitty to someone sucks. In someone in the comments. Um, on yeah, yeah. Someone else says here step away from the situation. Yeah. Well, the thing is here. See, here's the thing. Blaming a mental disorder, someone blaming a mental disorder on their shitty behavior. Normally, that is bad, but there are two factors to keep in mind here, and that's A, we are talking DID, and an alter, well, an alter can be an asshole. And as Kiyome has illustrated before, there are often times where one alter does not know what the others are doing. that is possible as well. And also B, if said person just realized, near the beginning of the year that they have that he has DID, you know, you know, that's something he's still processing. I mean, it's only been half a year since he found out he's got this disorder. Yeah, he's going to be apt to blame his disorder on crappy shit he does. Whether he should or not is not the question. The fact is, it's something he's still processing. It's the it's that whole it's that whole processing trauma thing. Yeah, yeah, Kiyome makes a good point there. He says, I didn't know for a long time. It just kept saying, it feels like someone else is taking control over my body and I don't have memory of that. Yeah, yeah, the idea is a hard thing to process when you realize you have it. Yeah. And yes, Lucas is a jackass. We all know it. Yeah, 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 we know, Kiyome. We know. So yeah, just the fact alone that he's blaming his DID for crappy shit he's doing. Um, if it was most other mental disorders, yeah, that would be kind of an asshole thing to do. But with DID, there's that whole, the fact that alters can have totally different personalities. That's a whole different ball game because you literally can blame the stupid shit you do on an alter. I mean, that's kind of the nature of DID. So yeah, judging, reading this and judging by what Rose and Kiyome are saying in the chat. Yeah, OP, you are the antagonist. Lay off, step back from the situation. You know, you know, be supportive of your friend, but don't judge your friend. You can be supportive without judging. In other words, let him know that you're there for him through this journey of self-discovery because that's really what it is. Um, I mean, having DID is something that he had to come out with himself. I mean, in a way, it's another coming out of the closet. You know, step away from judgment, but at least let him know that you can be there for him, and if his alter shows his ugly head, then you gotta step back a bit, and realize what's going on. So yeah. So yeah, because we are talking about an extreme personality shift, and from what Rose and Kiyome are saying, it does sound like your friend actually does have DID. All right. Okay, next one. Let's see what we got next here. Ah. Would I be the antagonist if I went to my HOA about fireworks? All right. I feel like I could be the antagonist, so I need some clarity in case this happens again. I'm well aware that fireworks are expected over this particular holiday. I'm not a huge fan of fireworks, but my personal feelings aside, this is about where the fireworks are occurring, not that they were occurring at all. I live in a subdivision with single family homes, multi-family homes, businesses, and restaurants. In the center of the subdivision, there is a large green space or common area. Last night, a group of residents, a collective group of individuals or a family, not entirely sure, usurped the common space over 50 feet away from the multifamily buildings and parking and decided to set off fireworks. However, the HOA states this is not allowed and that the common space cannot be used for such purposes. Per my county, it is legal for fireworks to continue throughout the week, and although I do not think that they will return due to the 4th being the day where most people truly celebrate, I am questioning what to do if they come back. Would I be the antagonist if I complain to the HOA or as a last resort or after business hours to a non-emergency line? No, no, OP, you're not the antagonist. And there is a reason. There is a reason why fireworks shows tend to happen in really open areas, like away from everything. And although this says 50 feet away in front of multifamily buildings, that's not really far away enough. When you think about it, when especially when we're talking about fireworks. Um, now, when I was a kid growing up in Provincetown, Massachusetts, we had a wharf called or they still have a wharf called McMillan Wharf, which is where they would have the annual fireworks show every July 4th. Now, the wharf, oh God, I think I think it's longer than a football field. Let me see. Let me see. How long is McMillan Pier in Provincetown? Um, Let me see here. Does it say how big it is? It says where it is. Well, oh God, it doesn't say how big it is. Oh man, I figured that information would Okay, all right, there we go. 1,450 feet. So almost as long as so it's basically yeah, 1,450 feet. In other words, you could fit 14 and a half football fields on McMillan Pier. You know what they do for the fireworks show in Provincetown? They close off the pier to foot traffic and they set off the fireworks at the end of the pier over the water. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Starcolt. Setting off the fireworks in and of itself is not illegal, but yeah, 50 feet is nowhere near far enough for fireworks. It really isn't. Um, so OP, you are not the antagonist here. Complain to the HOA. Complain till the cows come home. Yeah, yeah. You want to know something? Last night, some of you may have heard fireworks going off while I was doing my stream last night. Some of those fireworks apparently were being launched right from my apartment building's common area, which is right next to the frickin' apartment building. And apparently the manager has said that if he finds out who did it, their leases are being terminated. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, complain to the HOA. Yeah, you don't need to put up with that. You don't need to put up with that. Besides, there are pets, there are small children, there are people with PTSD or other sensory disorders. Yeah, yeah. They don't need that. No, if they want to be a family and shoot off fireworks, you need an open you need something like an open field or a large beach or something like that. Somewhere away from everything else so that an errant firework would just harmlessly just land back in neutral ground or in the case of the beach, land in the water. You need something like that if you want to shoot fireworks. Fireworks really trigger your PTSD bad. Yeah, same's true. Same's actually true with Dana. Last night, the fireworks that were close to our building, she was getting pretty triggered. So yeah. So yeah, you're not the antagonist. Complain to your HOA. I usually hate HOAs, but yeah, complain to your HOA. Yeah, like I said, sadly, you can't exactly complain to the cops because if the fireworks are legal at that time, then yeah, you can't complain to the cops because they're not going to do anything. ACAB. Anyway, all right, let's go to. I think we got time for a couple more here, one or two more, depending on the discussion. Ha! Am I the antagonist for asking my son's girlfriend if she can cook? Ooh. Okay, OP is a 45-year-old guy. His wife is a 44-year-old woman. His his children are 22 male, 19 female, 16 female. Okay. OP says, for context, my wife and I have three children, Jake, Alyssa, and Amy. I work at a restaurant while my wife is a stay-at-home mom by choice, and I'm by no means one of those traditional types of men who believe women should be the ones who cook for the family and clean, etc. I simply think that everyone should know how to cook for themselves and provide for themselves instead of buying fast food every day. My oldest son Jake started dating a girl from his work named Jenny, and they've been dating for almost a month. Jake's already met Jenny's parents, and now they'd scheduled a dinner at our house. My wife and daughters were all very excited to meet Jenny. On the day of me and my on the day of me and my wife were on the day of me and my wife were cooking the meals for the dinner, but then I had to go to the bathroom, so it was only my wife finishing up the meal. That's when Jake and Jenny walked in. My wife began to serve the food while I left the bathroom. The dinner was going well as we all sat and ate. As we all sat and ate, my wife and two daughters were asking questions about Jenny when it was my turn to ask questions. I asked simple things like, so what do you plan on being in the future? And what classes for college are you taking? And stuff like that. Then I proceeded to ask her if she had any experience in the kitchen, if she could cook or not, to see if I had anything else in common with Jenny. After asking, or to see if I had anything else in common than Jenny. Oh, punctuation, people. After asking, she was silent and just gave a stare of annoyance and anger at me and then said, why should she have to know how to cook? And if I'm one of those men who think that all women should cook and clean and not have a job, I said, no. But she got angry, saying that she heard from my son that my wife doesn't work and that she saw my wife cooking the meals we were eating. Before I could explain, she grabbed her things, called me a sexist asshole, and left through the front door while my son went after her. I just sat there confused and thinking about what I said wrong. The rest of the evening was awkward. Later that week, I started getting texts from Jenny's mother and sister calling me sexist and other names. My wife and youngest daughter are on my side, but Alyssa and Jake have been saying that I shouldn't have asked Jenny that question, so am I the antagonist? Um, here is the issue. The issue wasn't so much that you asked the question as it was when you asked the question. Because you asked the question lacking the context. Okay. You just simply believe everyone should know how to cook. The problem is Jenny didn't know that in advance. And so I have to give you at least half an antagonist point for that. The problem was you asked the question without the context. So it gave the appearance of you being sexist, even if you're not. And basically at this point I would just say, you know, I would just say apologize, take the L. Just say it was my just tell him it was my fault to ask that question without the context. You know, take the L. You fucked up, but not because, but not out of sexism. You just fucked up because you fucked up. Yeah, damage is done. Take your lumps. Come back crawling to them with an apology, and just say I apologize. I should have phrased it differently. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I think this can still be salvaged. Yeah, like I said, take your lumps, apologize. Just be careful of the context of your question in the future. That's all I have to say about that. All right, let's do another one. All right, let's do another one here. All right. Am I the antagonist for not wanting to have a hen's night? Ooh, geez. If you want to know what a hen's night is, it's basically like a girls' night out, or at least that's what I understand it to be. It says, okay, so I've never seen myself as the type of person to get married, but here I am planning a wedding, and I should be excited, but I'm getting married in just 4 months, and I have no dress. I've moved the hen's night to suit everyone else, and even changed what I wanted to do for it, because I would rather have people join me than be alone. What I wanted to do was get some beauty treatments and get dolled up and go out dancing and so it's kind of like a bachelorette party. Okay. What I wanted to do was get some beauty treatments and get dolled up and go out dancing and that, then come home to horror movies and doobies. What I've changed it to suit everyone else is just drinking at my place. I wanted to do it on Halloween because I love the spooky season, but I changed it to Guy Fawkes because people complained they couldn't make it. I'm seriously considering just not doing anything because I'm happy to compromise, but I feel like I'm not actually doing anything I'd like to. And as selfish as I feel I'm being, I don't ask for many things to be about me. So, am I being an over dramatic antagonist? TLDR, I've changed everything around to suit my bridal party, but I'm regretting it. Ooh. Man. Uh, whew. The, well, I would say on the surface, no, you're not the antagonist because it's your wedding, it's your party. But um, but I would say, yeah, it's your party. But on the other hand, if no one else can make it, what kind of party is it? Um, I mean, I mean, no one is really an antagonist here. Um, I mean, you don't want to have your party on Halloween. Oh no, you. Oh wait a minute. Actually, I think I'm reading this wrong. You wanted to have your party on Halloween, but people said they couldn't make it. So you consider changing it to Guy Fawkes Day because that's when people would make it. Oh, I see. I see what's going on. You have this whole big Halloween bachelorette party going on, planned out. But people said they couldn't make it, so instead you're planning something smaller on Guy Fawkes Day, but you're regretting it. All right, see here's the thing, okay? I would say I would s- I would say do what you want to do on Halloween. Cuz you if you love Halloween that much, plan your own fun Halloween night and then have your scaled down party on Guy Fawkes Day because frankly that's the only way you're going to get both. I hate to say it, and no one's really an antagonist here. The problem is that The schedules just aren't lining up, and there really isn't anything you can do about it. I would say, yeah, you might be regretting switching it from Halloween to Guy Fawkes Day, and that you're considering just not having it at all. But at the same time, if it were me, I would say you'd regret it more by not having it at all. So have your scaled down party on Guy. Have your scaled down party on Guy Fawkes Day. I think because Guy Fawkes Day is only like about less than a week Halloween. Um, Her party should move to fit her. Yeah, but Starkle, it's not going to be much of a party if no one shows up. That's the problem. I'm basically saying try to have both. In other words, say that you are still planning a party for Halloween, but also have your party on Guy Fawkes Day. That's what I'm saying. Do both. Because if most people can't make it on Halloween, maybe some people can. Do both. Hey, all the more party, right? Seriously. Um, because that's gonna probably be your best thing. Because if you're gonna get hardly anyone showing up on Halloween, it's not gonna be much of a party. So so change your Halloween party to be a little different. Just tell people that if people want to come on Halloween, that you'll still have a party. Um, but if people can't make it until Guy Fawkes Day, guess what? There's going to be a party then too. Have two parties. That way everyone wins. Seriously. But I do think that if you just cancel everything, you will regret it. So yeah, no one is an antagonist here. No one's an antagonist here. Like I said, just have both parties. Oh, Kiyome, I've been there. Last year, my parents planned on my graduation party on 4th of July, and nobody out of the people I invited showed up. Yeah, double seems less special for a bachelorette. Well, like I said, it's really up to the OP. Like I said, personally, I would love to have two parties. Oh, Spooter! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Particle Acceleration. Hope you're enjoying your stay here. Yeah, we're doing Am I the Antagonist here. But yeah, if it were me, I would love to have two parties. Definitely. Yeah, but thanks for the follow, Spooter. Although we have come to the end of the stream at this point. Thank you for joining us. We will do Am I the Antagonist again at some point. Um, Tomorrow, though, yeah, that seems a bad day to plan something. I know. Much party, much vibe. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, if I were getting married, I'd love to have two bachelorette parties. It would be even better. It would be even better. What's better about being in a lesbian relationship is the couple can plan a bachelorette party together. I know it seems like I know some people might say like, "Oh, it kills the idea of a bachelor party." But, not really. Not really. Not from a lesbian perspective. It really doesn't. It really does not kill the idea of a bachelorette party. You got to go to bed. Good night. Okay, Spooter. Well, thanks for the follow again. Thanks for joining us. All right. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Let's hand out our shout outs for tonight, starting with Ronco Ashino. And we also had Kiyome and Xander with hosts. So let's shout out Kiyome here. And let's shout out Epic Xander for his host as well. Tomorrow, by the way, is Fall Guys once again. So we're going to be so it's time to fall again. Hopefully you will join me for that as well. Um And also thanks to Kiyome for a bit. And let's uh, let's do our credits here. Where's credits? Credits. Let's roll our credits for the evening. Because, like I said, we have bits from Kiyome and the new follow from Spooter. Thank you so much as well for those. Let's check our rate meter for tonight, folks. Oh, Kiyome's like, Fall Guys, woo! All right, let's see who we're going to raid tonight. Let's raid. Ooh. Oh God! I haven't seen her online in ages. Let's raid. Let's raid the artist responsible for our for our emotes. Like for example, this emote here. Let's raid Mikachu. She's playing a Genshin Impact at this time. So let's raid Mikachu. Until tomorrow, you know what to do, folks. Follow and subscribe. Join the Particle Acceleration. You can also join us on Discord. !Discord in the chat. Or scroll down to where it says Join the Particle Acceleration on Discord. Till tomorrow, I'm DJ Particle and I am out of here. Peace.